follow the boys in claret and blue. Well, yes, what up, Villa fans? Finally buzzing about doing an episode. As you noticed, I am solo. James is currently unwell with a bit of a stomach bug. Mate, I hope you get better soon, and I hope all the family are well. Hopefully, I'll be back on the next episode for the Ipswich review later on in the week. So fingers crossed. So please like, comment, subscribe, send me your well wishes, and obviously do the same to talk about yesterday's game. So let's get straight to it. Villa versus Spurs, FA Cup fourth round. Could have been a bit of a hoodoo. We've not been great in the FA Cup. The first time we've got to the fifth round in about 20 years, it feels like anyway. But just wow. Absolutely wow. Again, started the game absolutely brilliantly. I couldn't have asked for more, really. The weather was atrocious. It was absolutely freezing. I've still got my woolly hat on. So let's go through the changes first and foremost, the lineup. I was nervous with Kamara being at centre-back again, as much as he's done a great job there. And not having a recognised centre-half pairing is always tough. But you think, well, we've got Konza to do that. So my first shout-out goes out. Obviously, Konza went off injured. I hope that's not too serious. I haven't heard any updates today. So fingers crossed he'll be back ASAP. But he looked distraught. So I hope it's nothing serious. Let me know in the comments if you've heard anything. Again, I hope it's nothing too bad. So the big first shout-out is to Bogard, because he came on and I thought, actually, he was really good. At centre half, didn't really have a great deal to deal with, if I'm honest, but did what he had to do. So that was, we looked pretty solid for the majority of the game. Garcia at right back, Cash. Someone's coming knocking at your door, buddy. I thought he was sensational yesterday. I thought he got forward really well, offered a good outlet, a couple of decent crosses, tracked back really well, was good defensively, won some key tackles in key areas. So, yeah, really positive performance from Garcia. Then, obviously, we've got Marlon up front. Do you know what? Considering he had the news that he wasn't going to be in the Champions League squad, I thought he was banging yesterday. I thought his movement was excellent. He chased down, particularly first half. He was tracking people back. He was dropping deep to receive the ball. He held it up brilliantly. Really positive. My only criticism in that first half, we came out the blocks flying, didn't we? We score a goal, great passage of play. I mean, I can't express how much the tempo of our play needs to be like that consistently to break things down, because we'll get through, and we did straight away. It's a howler from the keeper, let's be honest, but goal's a goal, 1-0 up, and yes, we kind of allowed them, like as we usually do, our tempo slowed a little bit mid first half, and they kind of got in. They had a great chance through Son to score, and Emily, world's number one, Emi Martinez, what a save. But we just have that defensive frailty. But apart from that, we dominated. We created 3 or 4 brilliant opportunities. Marlon should have scored. That was my only criticism of that. Created the space really well, got his shot away, but it was just over the bar. But at least he got his shot away. Even Bailey in the first half, and I've been very critical of him over the last few weeks on the show, because he has been, in my opinion, piss poor. He's had lots of minutes and he's not really done a great deal, but he looked like he was up for it and he was getting stuck in. He had a couple of good chances. Keepers made 2 relatively easy saves. Probably should have scored at least one of them. But yeah, so first half at 1-0, buzzing. Like I say, the only criticism was that we didn't quite take our chances, and at 1-0, it's anyone's game, isn't it? So that brings us to the second half, and we knew that Rashford and Asensio were going to come on, and the second half started. If I'm honest, I think Spurs kind of grew into the game. They were bound to have a reaction. They had a couple of half chances, and they had a bit more possession at the start of the second half, and we didn't really create a great deal. But then we kind of grew into the game a little bit more. And then just before the changes were made, we get the second goal, which, if I'm honest, I know Bailey had a part to play, but I thought he fluffed it. Great movement again. He gets played in down the right, and just indecisive, isn't he? And he almost treads on the ball, but then manages to play a lovely little pass round to Marlon, who gets it across the area. Spurs don't deal with it, and Rodgers just taps it in. And euphoria, really. At 2-0, we deserved that. We probably should have been 4-0 up at that point. But let's get to the main topics, really, of Asensio and Rashford. Now, all the talk before the game was about Rashford. Rightly so, because he's obviously, of all the media speculation we get in this country from Man United, and is he going to disrupt the dressing room, etc., etc. And actually, I thought he was great. I thought he came on. I thought he showed Rashford of old. He was direct. He's quick. He's good on the ball. There is a player in there, and I pray that Emery can get the best out of him for the remainder of the season, and that can benefit us massively. Even if he doesn't stay and he goes on to bigger or better things, I can't imagine what. But if we can get goals out of him, and he can get us qualification back into the Champions League, mate, he goes with more blessing. If not, we buy him for 40 million quid. Is that a risk? I don't know. It's cheap, but if we can get him playing, man, there's pace in there. He troubled Tottenham's wingers both on the right and left, and was unlucky not to probably have a penalty. I think Pedro took him out. And that brings me on to the referee, who was shocking, by the way. Anthony Taylor is awful. I mean, going back to the Newcastle game when he sent Duran off, he took like 65 minutes to book their players, and ideally, but it could have been a red card by the time he issued his first yellow. So it didn't help precision, but we just got on with it and we did what we had to do. So Rashford, again, unlucky not to get a penalty, but very creative. Looked like he linked up well with JJ and Rodgers. And yeah, all round a really positive 25 minutes. Now, it is only 25 minutes, so it's all about now, can this next 12 days is massive. We've got big games, haven't we? And if he can perform and we can get results, if we can beat, I mean, it's a big ask, but if we can beat Ipswich, Liverpool and Chelsea, my word, our season is right back on. And I'm going to be optimistic after that performance yesterday that we can do it with these players. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so well done, Marcus. Big up. I hope you can continue with that up the Villa. And that brings me on to the main man, if I'm honest, Asensio. My word, I did a match save live yesterday, and I said it in that on the way back from the ground. There's levels to this game, and he has shown what they are. The guy's got obviously loads of experience, 3-time Champion League winner, 3 times Champion League winner, obviously multiple La Ligas, played with some of the best players in the world. And when he came on, for the first time, that's felt for me in 2 seasons, that our tempo actually improved in the last stages of a game. He raised everyone, and even, I think most of you agree, Rodgers has looked like he's been blown out of his arse for the last few games, in the second half in particular. But as soon as Asensio came on, together, they were brilliant together. Like, we were pinging it around like prime Real Madrid, and it's what I've been longing to see the Villa do. Obviously, Emery, that's probably the goal. We've been trying to play this possession football, and at times it's been slow and lethargic, and teams have worked us out. But I'm telling you now, if we play like we did in that second half with that pace of pinging, ping, 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 it gives us a great chance of breaking any team down. It really does. It was a pleasure to watch. I was super excited being in the stadium, and like I say, my only criticism is that we didn't score more goals because we got created chance after chance. But Asensio, the man is sheer class, honestly, and I think I got a bit of a man crush. He looks the part. But not only what he did on the ball, what he did off the ball, his movement. He was chasing back. He made a couple of great tackles. Just got the play moving, and then when he did move it, he follows the run, makes himself an option. And the thing that springs to mind, Leon Bailey, take note. Like, it's just that work rate. It will get the fans behind you. It will get the team behind you. You'll create and score more. And I know that football's obviously a psychological thing, and that something may be going on with Bailey. I don't know, because he's not been the player he was last season. But now, as for most of you that probably watched it at home, saw the interview after the game with JJ and Rodgers, talking about having these kinds of players in the team, how the starters need to raise their game, and that's what we need. And if that's what it's done, and that's the level of performance we're going to get, mate, I'm excited for the second half of the season. It's going to be something to be really excited about. You know, like I say, we've now got 3 massive games in 12 days. You know, we've got a little bit of a break now to try and recuperate and get the team together and gelling again, like understanding, you know, which seems to have happened pretty well. But if we can keep that going, we go into that Ipswich game, obviously favourites on Saturday. Then obviously the Liverpool game. I mean, we talked about it last week, but we've just been screwed over there, haven't we? To drop that game in the, you know, it's the whole point. We thought qualifying for the Champions League, we were going to get breaks, a week break into each game, which would have rested us a little bit. And now we've got to play 3 games in 7 days. So tough ask, but we've got to try and do it because it can get our season back on. And obviously, we just need that moment like we had last season when we beat City and Arsenal in a week. So we can do it. You know, we've already got a stronger squad, and I would love it. I would absolutely love it. And with Liverpool going out of the FA Cup yesterday, you know, honestly, like the arrogant sod that he is, totally disrespected Plymouth yesterday and got his just desserts. I'm so pleased for them. Let's hope he can underestimate us at home, and we can get that result and then go into that Chelsea game, who have been up and down and inconsistent. You know, I fancy us that we can get a result there. But I'd take 7 from 9, but 9 from 9, mate. We're in the top 4 or 5 again, and we're flying. So something to be optimistic about. I am buzzing. Absolutely buzzing about yesterday's game. And I nearly didn't go because it was freezing. It was on the TV, and I was just. But you know, this is the Rashford effect. I took my daughter with me, as I usually do, and she's a massive Marcus Rashford fan, and always has been. 1 for the football, but 2 because of the stuff he did around feeding all the kids in schools and all that kind of stuff. She's read all his books, and so was just buzzing to see him live. And you know what? I think most of Villa Park were, even when he was warming up and coming on. Reception was good, atmosphere was good. Yeah, nothing to fault really. So absolutely buzzing. We go on to the next week, obviously, with confidence, and hopefully we can get those results. You know, which brings us on to the press conference with Emery and talking about the FA Cup and how important it is. I wasn't so sure. I still think the league and the Champions League places are the ones. But, you know, cup games can galvanise teams and give you a little bit of confidence. So, you know, I'm not going to say no to any silverware. I think it'd be amazing, and a trip to Wembley would be incredible. But a long way to go. Still some good teams in there. We'll probably get bloody Newcastle away in the next round. So I look forward to tonight's draw and see what happens. But yeah, we should be positive going into it to face anyone if we play like that. I think we can beat anybody on our day. We've now got quality players, and if that's what we got to look forward to, I'm looking forward to the summer transfer window as well. So Emery was obviously ecstatic about it yesterday, pleased with the I think the energy levels and the tempo of the play. You know, it just shows how much of a wicked manager he is. I just sometimes have to rub my eyes and think about stuff. And moments like yesterday kind of bring it back that we're in good hands, man, and we just need to be patient. And yes, it's been an inconsistent season, and I think that's because we've mentioned before players haven't quite hit the heights. But you know, we've now got players coming back that could change it. I know Torres is a little bit away, but he will be back. We've got Mings coming back, Disasi to play, Watkins coming back. All these players that are probably now, like Jay just said, they're going to have to raise their game. You know, and if we do, it's only going to benefit the squad. So yeah, just big up to the whole squad and the whole team and the management. Apart from Austin McPhee, I still think our set pieces are dire shit. We need to work better at them. But you know, hopefully that can improve. We can't have it all. We can't have everything. So that's it, guys. Again, please, if you're still stuck around 15 minutes in, like and subscribe. We'll be back hopefully with a preview show. Hopefully James will be back with me then. It would be nice to have the banter. I don't like talking on my own, just because it just ends up loads of waffle, doesn't it? But it's got to be done, and we've got to get it out there because you know we love the chat. So like, subscribe, comment, let us know what your thoughts of the game yesterday if you were there. I did have a comment on TikTok that said, I thought I saw you at the ground. Like, if you do and you watch it, come and say hi. I'm usually in the Lower Trinity by the McGregor stand before the game. I'm looking for any fans actually in at the Ipswich game. If you want to chat after the game, I'll be hanging around by the statue after the game. maybe we can have a little bit of a quick Q&A how you feel about how that game goes. So again, if you're up for that, let us know in the comments. Anyway, peace out, people. Here we go. One last time. Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. This is the fat podgy one, bald one. Peace out.